vocabulary in my God. I know more than eight or 10 words.
Yeah.
Jim's word of the day: snuggle.
Snuggle.
Jim, use it in a sentence.
I can't speak full sentences.
Oh,
Oh, I just did. I'm sorry.
snuggle. Jim's word of the day: snuggle.
Yeah.
I think
Aren't
it's just
those,
the way
How
to
did you
say
just
it.
spell that?
snuggle.
Oh,
aren't,
okay.
aren't those toilet paper or
Snuggle.
something? Don't they have something snuggle? Was
I
it,
don't know if
or is it
it's
tissues? I
I
don't know.
think it's
Something with snuggle.
I think it's
Snuggle.
tissues.
Yeah. Anyway.
So people were snuggling this news story yesterday.
Well, they snuggled it all right.
Oh yeah, let's see.
I mean, it was a sad story, to be honest with you. What
It
happened.
was and yeah. Go ahead. Finish.
It was a very sad story to see how people would just go off on something that we don't really know what happened. But can you
We don't.
imagine how the kid feels?
Mhm.
I mean, think of the kid. I mean, who I don't know how old this kid is, but to hear that your parents have gotten into trouble at the school and all this drama. I mean, the kid's got to be really embarrassed or something, Like, wow,
Well,
feel sorry for the kid,
yeah,
you know. I mean, I don't know what grade it was. I mean, all it said
it
school.
was. What grade it was? Well,
Well, I mean, was it high school or grammar school? I mean, I don't know. So, I mean, them being in their 50s, it could be a kid like, 13, 14 years old. I don't know, or maybe a little
yeah,
younger, you know. But still embarrassing for the kid.
right.
Yeah.
And whatever happened with the adults, but I think the people that commented on the various boards, they missed the point when they were bitching at me, about what they figure I was off point on. But we'll get into that in a minute. We'll be back in a minute right here on Streaming News and Sports Network, SNSN.
The voice of Griswold, Jewett City and Plainfield, SNSN.
As a business, your customers are your first priority. At Jewett City Savings Bank, their first priority is helping businesses like yours to succeed. Here's what John Felice of Boundaries in Griswold had to say about doing business with Jewett City Savings Bank.
When I contacted the bank initially for a loan program, I explained to them that I needed something done in a timely manner. And from start to finish, the commercial lending team put it together and we were closed within 2 weeks. Several years ago, I needed a commercial line of credit to manage weekly business expenses in terms of payroll and things like that. They were very quick to set that up for us. They also refinanced a buyout from a former business partner and everything was smooth. Being a small business in southeastern Connecticut, there are many local banks that we have to choose from. Jewett City Savings Bank has been a choice for me that I've been happy with for many years, and I will continue to do business with them for many years to come.
To learn more about how the commercial lending team at Jewett City Savings Bank can assist you, call 860-376-4444 or go to jcsbank.com. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
News and information you need for your day. SNSN.
And good morning. Welcome back to the show. 22 minutes after 8. It's Wednesday morning. And what we are talking about right now is the exciting story that we published last night or yesterday about this couple that, Paul?
Well, like I said, we don't know what happened. Apparently, going to the school for some apparent reason to get your kid out. I don't know what it was about. Whether she got a call or whether she went there, I don't know. But unfortunately, she got a little upset because she couldn't get it. And
Mm-hmm.
got a little loud with the teacher or the administration of the school, and then they had to call the cops on her because she wouldn't calm down. And of course, the cops came and she got loud with them.
So was the fundamental issue that the school
We don't know.
wouldn't release the child to the parent?
I don't know. We don't know that answer.
Well, I think that's worthwhile trying to find out.
Well, that's
So instead of, and I did call Tom LaPrade last night. I called them both. I called the husband and the wife. They did not return my call. So, but I want to commend Jackie Ryan for posting once again an incomplete news story glorifying the drama and not reporting what caused all of this.
Yeah.
Why was this woman so upset at the school? Ugh. Ugh. She literally wrote ugh.
Yeah.
UGH. If you're going to report, wait until you have the complete story. I don't know these people, but obviously it's an incendiary post. I'm like, all right, whatever. Well, if you don't like it, I don't know what to tell you. The post came, the press release came directly from Plainfield Police. If you have an issue with that, then call Plainfield Police.
Yeah.
If you have questions about the incident, you can FOI it. You know, but like I said, the other thing is that this exact same thing was on Channel 3, Channel 8, and nobody complained about that. It was the exact same thing, same verbiage and everything.
Yeah.
But nobody complained about that.
Yeah.
But Austin, you're right. Right. I'm the local guy or
Yeah.
the local person. And then
You're
they're the, yeah.
Yeah, you're the closest target.
Yeah, exactly.
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 Yeah.
So if you don't like it, I mean, I don't know. And I had asked, what is it you want? And nobody came with an answer. Nobody gave an answer. Well, this is what I want. Well, I'm genuinely asking, what else did you want out of this story? What information did you want?
Yeah.
You know, if the LaPrads are not returning my calls, I can't give it to you.
Right.
Unless you know them, you call them and ask them.
Right.
But if you're not family, chances are you're not going to get the answer.
It was also surprising to see how the Plainfield Police Department actually wrote the article. I mean, it was quite a long article of what had happened. I mean, it was almost written like a reporter, for crying out loud, the way that thing was written. It probably had to be a full page long if you took a Word document.
It was this was probably the longest press release I'd ever seen come out from anybody, whether it was Plainfield Police, Norwich Police, Ledyard Police, State Police.
Yeah.
This is probably the longest one I've ever seen.
Usually it's like a summary.
Right. And there and at that point, I can go ahead, and move on from there to get different pieces of information. But if people aren't talking, there's really not. So what happens then? Then I don't report anything at all. Then what happens? Well, people complain. Oh, well, you didn't talk about this. And I'm like,
Why aren't you getting the information out to
you're
us?
damned if you do, you're damned if you
No,
don't,
you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
So it's like,
Yeah.
What do you do?
What do you do?
Yeah.
Move on.
WINY had the same damn post. Nobody bitched. You see what I mean?
Well, that's because we can.
Same thing.
We can reach out and touch you.
Yeah.
That's the issue.
Same thing.
Yeah. So
You know what, Paul?
what's that?
It was the same thing.
I know. That's the way it goes. Just the way.
Channel 8. Guess what? It was the same thing.
Well,
It's it's all payback for leaving me and Paul in charge on Monday. These people are all getting back. They're like, never do that again.
yeah, we don't like, it was like a bear story.
We actually got a couple people talking about that. Like hog versus bear.
Yeah.
Bear always wins or something. A bunch of people were commenting a bunch of stuff about
There was
bears.
a story in Plainville that was was on the news, so it must be on TV, so it must have been incredible. A bear taking a bath in a swimming pool.
Oh, that's not unusual.
No, it's not unusual. Right.
I've seen that before.
And there's a lot of black bear in Plainville, Farmington, that
Well,
way.
they just found they found one in North Stonington, I think the other day, yesterday or something. A bear walking around.
Well, I know there was a number of shots of a bear crawl up on a stone wall, where there was dogs on the other side, and I think it was an 18-year-old young lady ran out and actually pushed the bear off of the wall and grabbed her dogs and ran back into the house. Did any of
I
you
did
guys
see
see that?
something like that story.
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
I don't know where it was. I don't know if
Yeah.
it was local or someplace else. I mean, it wasn't a black bear. It was a brown bear. I'm not saying.
Oh my.
Yeah.
So
That's daring.
Steve goes, did you know that your post about the PCS incident was really long?
Just quoted it as it was written.
Yeah.
It's all it did. It just, it was the same thing Plainfield Police put out. So, and I told people, you don't like it, call them.
Yeah.
I don't know. I will honestly say that I thought it was a little odd that some of the things that was in
they
that
mentioned it in the
press
details that they
release,
gave you.
Yeah.
That's kind of surprising because usually they
Yeah.
keep it close to the breast.
Yeah.
They don't say much. Just say somebody got arrested for such and such, and that's it. But it was like, wow, I couldn't believe that story, how big it was.
Laura says trolling is a new hobby for most people. Well, it's
Yeah.
kind of true. I mean, it's what happened with the pandemic. We created trolling.
Yeah, it ain't fishing.
It ain't no. So, good morning, Laura. Good morning, Steve.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us and saying hey.
Yeah.
But I thought it was uncharacteristically long.
I did too.
So I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know what else to say about it.
Well, I was kind of shocked with all the details, except they left out one important detail. Why?
Yeah, that's
Mhm.
That's the detail they left out.
That's the question is why.
But see, this is also being written by a police department.
Yeah.
Okay, they're not going to give you the why. They're going to give you the what. You see what I mean? They're going to say this happened, and that happened. They're not going to tell you why it happened.
Yeah, that's speculation on
Ex-
their part.
Right. Now, I can go ahead and try to reach out to the family that had this issue, and if they don't return my calls or texts or something like that, I can't provide the why.
Yeah.
Nobody can provide the why.
Yeah.
Do I think this is going to end right here? No.
No. There's even a good possibility based on what you said that maybe some of the charges will be altered or reduced or something. Who knows?
But see, I mean, I don't know what the why is. You
don't
didn't
know the
read
why.
this.
Yeah.
What's that? You're going to say
No, I
something,
was just gonna
Austin?
say it almost seems like people nowadays, like unless like first, let's say in case of you give them exactly what everybody else gives them, and you just give exactly what you get. It almost seems like people nowadays are just crazy enough to ask you, well, they want you to just make something up. Be like, fabricate the why. Come on, you got to know something.
There you go.
Did we
Figure it
not do
out.
that? Did we not do that one morning?
We did.
We
It's-
did. Totally made stuff up. Like the chicken
The chicken manure.
chicken
plant.
manure plant that was coming to Griswold.
It almost seems like people just want you to make something up to
Yeah.
satiate their appetite.
I can create a why, about this story. We all
Yeah.
can. We can all say what we think may have happened.
Yeah.
We weren't there, so we can't create that. The only thing you can do is get it from the people that were there.
Mm-hmm.
You think the school's going to talk? No,
Oh no,
they're not going to say a
Lord,
They're
word.
not going to say a word.
Okay. I even had this is not even a joke. I had two people yesterday ask me if I could get body cam footage from
Body
the police.
cam footage.
Yes.
So here we go. Here we go with the whole body cam thing again. Maybe they're saying, maybe the cop touched her. Maybe this, maybe that. Who the hell knows?
Just saying, just to give you an idea
Oh yeah.
of what
That's
you
the
know
problem.
is being looked for. Two
That-
people wanted body cam footage.
That's the world we live in.
And
today.
I told him right now, I said, look, go to town hall, go to the clerk, put in an FOI request, and there you go.
Yeah, that's
Mhm.
that's the
How
world.
long does that take, though?
It depends on what town you're going to.
Yeah, I mean that's the world we
All
live in today.
depends.
That's the way it's going to be. You can't do anything today because they want footage. They want
Yeah.
to see the body cam
Yeah.
because they want to put the blame on the cops. No,
Yes.
not
Of
on the
course.
person who went in there and did whatever they did. I mean, the school had to call the cops for some reason. The cops just weren't there.
No, but you would think that any kind of disruption, large or small, in a school area,
Yeah.
they would have to call the police.
Correct. So
Right.
the person got out of
But
hand.
if the same, let's say that the same thing was 90% less, they're still calling the police. But if it's the same situation down the street at a residence, cops probably aren't going to get called.
In situations like this, maybe there needs to be some de-escalation type of classes available because many times you can de-escalate a situation or you can escalate it,
Mhm.
you know, just in your approach.
Yeah.
Okay. And who escalated? Where did the escalation come from? See, now these are questions, that I'd like to know the answer to as well. But without these folks, you can get eyewitness accounts, but that doesn't mean they're right. That, guess what? That's their speculation. Because Jim and Paul, you guys could be standing watching the exact same incident, and then your report is going to be completely different than Jim's,
Sure.
and vice versa. And then
Absolutely.
Austin's got a completely different version,
Sure.
and he was around the corner.
Yeah.
Yep.
And he may even be more accurate.
That could be.
You see, so
that was his mental telepathy.
so unless you were right there, you really don't know what happened. Everything else is bullshit.
And even if you're
speculation.
right there, you may not know what's happening because you don't know what the underlying issues were.
I was looking at your clock.
Oh, okay, all right. Yeah, good. We're good. So, were you there?
Huh?
Were you there?
No,
So, can you tell me if Channel 3 reports correct?
I can't tell you.
There
I
you
don't
go.
know. I don't know.
And that's what I'm talking about. Is the credibility goes to where there because whatever.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing. It's the same report.
Forget about it.
It was the same report.
Yeah,
It was.
and it was free.
Have we got a little insanity here this morning or something? Or what?
We like to mix it up a little bit.
My God.
It's ASMR radio. Paul.
Yeah. We're going back to my very first day working here. We
Jim's
cycled
totally-
back 2 months.
Jim's totally disgusted. We're not talking about power grids or nothing like that. Solar flares.
Hey, it's funny.
Here we go.
Power grids were on my mind this morning because I
Were
was
they
reading
really?
articles about the Colonial gas line. Okay. And,
Oh,
I've
that's
done
funny.
a lot of research on the
Power
grid.
grid's gonna go out.
Oh, man.
Oh my God.
It'll be the zombie apocalypse.
I'll be worse than that.
The oil
Yeah.
apocalypse.
Well, there was something. Some internet thing went down yesterday.
Yeah.
Some pieces of the internet went down. Some places couldn't get at their websites.
That's why Mike didn't post the why.
Yes.
The internet was out. It got cut
See?
off during posting.
See?
By the way, it's a joke for anybody listening. Because
Complete
some people are going to take it as
fabrication.
fact.
Just like the chicken manure farm we had talked about.
Well, if you heard it on the internet, it has to be true.
it has to be true.
True. And moreover,
Has
if
to
you
be
heard it on
true.
TV.
And if you heard it from a politician, you know it is absolutely true.
Oh.
Speaking of which,
Yeah, let's speak of that.
tomorrow we have Todd Babbitt and Heather Summers tomorrow morning.
Yep.
We're going to talk about the data center. Oh, imagine if this argument that happened yesterday happened outside of a freaking data center. Wow. What kind of news would that be in this town? So we're talking the data center. I'm sure we're going to get a lot of information that we had no idea about because they can talk about everything. Got Space Data went ahead and they made their announcement yesterday.
What they did.
Yeah, about the data centers, and their intention, and they're going all over the state. I mean, it's not just here. I mean,
Yeah,
they're
some in Norwich.
Groton,
Rotten.
well, Norwich,
Wherever,
Basra.
wherever there's
There's a municipality.
Wherever there's municipal electric.
Are they?
because
They're
of
not
the
in
cost
Basra, are they?
effect.
Are they in-
Wallingford. What?
Are they in Bosworth? Bosworth's
Uh,
pretty small.
I think there's a municipal electric in Bosworth.
It is,
Yeah.
but it's very small. I think
Yeah.
it's smaller than Jewett City.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So Norwich. Where else?
Norwich is
Basra, Wallingford,
Wallingford.
Groton.
Yeah.
Groton Utilities.
Yeah.
Yep.
There are
You ought to know
two
these
sites
better than
there.
anybody.
Groton Utilities. And I think Wallingford that's the study UI. Wallingford is the
Right.
provider.
So that's pretty interesting stuff.
Yeah.
But you're right, Paul. You're right, Jim. It's wherever there's a municipal electric company.
Yeah.
And Paul, you brought it up because they don't want to deal with Pura.
Probably. Yeah. They don't have to just deal with CMAC. That's it.
But they don't have to deal with Pura at all with the
I hope they
municipal.
don't take that money and go on a trip.
Whoa. Yeah,
Yeah,
see,
yeah,
people
yeah,
forgot
you're
about
bad.
that too, didn't they? They
Yeah.
forgot all about that.
Well,
You're
I think
bad,
it got.
Paul.
I think it got postponed. The sentences got
Derby Gate.
It got postponed.
Yeah.
I think it's probably coming up later in the year. Yeah.
What's that?
The trial of those individuals.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think it all got postponed.
You always got to have a scapegoat.
Well, they do. They
Yeah.
think, yeah. So it's going to be interesting what comes out of there. But
So I think we're going to hear some totally different things tomorrow from both Senator Summers and the first selectman Todd Babbitt. Griswold, I don't know what it is. You know, we've kind of kept a low profile about it. And we've talked about, like you and I, Paul, we've talked about things that have gone on at the meetings, like, you know, when, you know, Jim was here that one day, but we haven't talked about, you know, a lot of the nuts and bolts,
Right.
which I think we're going to get into tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know, as far as how is Griswold going to get paid,
Yeah.
that kind of stuff.
Right.
What are they going to build it on?
Yeah.
Is it different than everybody else? You know, all the other data centers in the country.
They usually build it on ground. I know it's a cloud, but that doesn't mean it's in the air. And it's usually on a pretty solid foundation.
That's pretty good.
Wow.
And they usually pay you with money. I don't think we trade with chickens anymore.
You know, with anti-gravity, there's no reason why you can't support Walmart's up in the cloud.
Yeah, that's
True. It's true.
So why aren't we talking
Oh
about
goodness.
smoking pot?
That was one of the things I thought you guys
Yeah.
would be on here this
Because
morning.
we're a 2-hour show and we're not going to, you know, just jump. Well, you know what? I'll tell you what. We're going to talk 2 minutes about everything and say, thank you very much. Good night.
Yeah.
Everything. And then we have these things called commercials.
No wonder he's got problems. He
Yes.
thinks it's night.
I do. Well, it's too much of that legal pot. So,
I guess
Not yet.
the big question in my mind is
Not yet.
if they are they going to allow individuals like Massachusetts to grow 6 plants or whatever. And my vote is my not my vote, but my feeling is because Connecticut is so hungry for money, they're not going to allow you as a resident to grow 6 plants or whatever.
Oh,
Lord,
no.
no, because it's not about that. It's about taxes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's all that it's
Everything
about.
is
It's about what they
about
can
money.
collect, you know?
Oh, if they do, I got a greenhouse.
Yeah, Paul's Pot Farm.
Yeah.
Did we not call that?
Not
No.
not only that, Paul will probably have 20 residents up there, so they can grow 120 plants.
Is this the dispensary?
Imagine the population explosion.
Hi, I'm Paul. Come to my pot farm.
But my gut is telling me you won't be able to grow it
I don't
yourself.
think you can.
Probably not.
I probably
Like Massachusetts, you can grow 6
No.
plants.
Maybe in if it does get passed and everything, maybe in a few
It is
years,
passed.
once the
No, not yet. I didn't think it was passed yet.
What?
I didn't think it was passed
You
yet.
talking about the medical marijuana? I mean,
the medical marijuana
I mean,
is
the
the
le-
recreational.
yeah, it was passed in the Senate a couple nights ago.
No, it's
Oh,
not
it passed,
still.
it passed yesterday sometime.
Yeah,
I thought it was
Just
still
not-
open
no, it's just not signed yet.
Oh, okay.
because I was under the
Oh.
impression it hadn't gone through yet.
I was gonna say after a few
Yeah,
years.
yesterday. Actually, not yesterday, but the night before. Was it
The
one of them
Senate
3 a.m.?
passed it, but it was back.
That
at
was
the
the
house.
House
No, the Senate.
No, it was the Senate.
The Senate did it.
at 3 a.m.
Yeah,
I
Yeah.
thought it was. I thought
There
the
were a
House-
But I
couple
thought
of
that-
bills that went through. One of them was the legalization of marijuana, and the other one is was Brian Lanew's bill for background checks
Oh, okay. Which made a
for
lot,
camp counselors.
which made a lot of sense.
Uh-huh.
So, well, we should talk about that when we get a chance. When we get a chance.
Maybe if
Further.
this, maybe if this guy yesterday had some medical marijuana,
Well, that was legal
would have
already.
been a little more chill.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's going to be an interesting if it does. If you say it's gone through, I mean, that's going to be interesting to see.
Yeah.
I mean,
Into
not
What
a
is-
federal law.
no.
So we're going against the Constitution of the United States.
What's new?
Yeah,
Tell me one part of the Constitution that hasn't been abridged.
that's true. That's true.
Okay, the Second Amendment, the First Amendment, the Fourth Amendment, the
Everyone.
14th Amendment has been used to take and pass all kinds of illegal stuff.
Yeah.
So I just want to I want to put something out there real quick. I want to mention my allergies. Anything that you have that you feel that could get, because we have a community bulletin board now that we run throughout the day. But do me a favor, send it to my email. Don't send it to my instant messenger on Facebook, because and it's not because I don't want to take it there, but I'll lose it or I'll forget about it because I really don't pay attention. I don't really pay attention to my instant messenger as far as news is concerned. I tell people to please email me at mike@snsnonline.com. So I would appreciate that. And it allows me to kind of keep everything a little more organized. Yeah. Instead of people saying, hey, I'm going to send them a messenger. See, there's that, maybe I should take that local accessibility away. But I don't want to do that.
No.
I don't want to do that. But, whatever.
You want to be the voice of the people when the people are abusing the voice. I mean,
Yeah.
what are you going to do?
Wendy Gothier. Hey, don't tell me they passed the bill without any details.
Good one.
Score one.
Thanks, Wendy.
Well, I still not sure they really passed it yet.
It passed the
I
Senate.
know I saw that, but they were going to filibuster something.
It's gonna go through.
Well,
It's-
I realize
it's done.
it's going to go, but
Even Lamont put something.
yeah, he wants to do that.
No, but I know that, but he put something out as well. Hold on, I'm gonna bring it right up. I'm gonna.
Now, while you're looking that up, is it legal in Rhode Island?
I don't know.
Is it legal in Massachusetts?
Yeah,
Legal in Massachusetts.
recreational. Yeah,
Yeah, you can grow 6 plants.
No,
it's illegal in a
we
lot
don't,
of
we
places.
don't know about Rhode Island now.
I don't know about.
All right.
Rhode
There's
Island.
17 states, I think, that's passed recreational marijuana.
Governor Lamont is commending the Connecticut State Senate for voting to approve legislation drafted with the support and input of his administration that will legalize the recreational adult use of cannabis, including its sale and safe regulation. The legislation, which is Bill number 1118, next needs to be approved by the Connecticut House of Representatives before it can be transferred to the governor's desk and signed into law.
To the House.
So it hasn't been fully approved yet.
The House
No.
didn't approve it. That's what I thought.
Lamont says, I applaud the Senate's bipartisan passage of the bill to legalize the adult use of cannabis. Here. The war on cannabis. You didn't get the joke, did you?
What?
What, like when they go, and then when they pass it, they go, here,
Oh yeah.
here.
Yeah. See, I didn't think it was
All
fully
right.
passed because the Republicans in the House were going to do a filibuster because they're not happy with it.
The war on cannabis, which was at its core a war on people in Black and Brown communities, not only caused injustices and increased disparities in our state, it did little to protect public health and safety. That's why Governor Lamont, introduced a bill and worked hard with our partners in the legislature to create a comprehensive framework for a securely regulated market that prioritizes public health, public safety, social justice, and equity. It will help eliminate the dangerous, unregulated market and support a new growing sector of our economy. There you go. At least we're talking truth now, which will lead to new jobs and growth.
Well, what it's going to do now, keep in mind, we've got medical marijuana, which is approved by doctors. There are so many people that have been approved for medical marijuana. It's unbelievable. And I think half of them don't really have a medical issue.
Well, but
It's their legal way to get recreational marijuana.
more than that, people have medical marijuana cards, but many of the people that have them can't even afford to buy the stuff. Okay,
Well, it's
and
not
if there's
cheap.
health benefits to the darn stuff, then it should be as affordable to everybody as it is conceivable.
I mean, you're talking probably 70 to maybe $100 for this stuff. It's not cheap.
No, that's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
that's not cheap.
Most people can't afford it.
No.
Okay, you being a retired millionaire, okay, you can buy it. I mean,
Yeah. But
That's
I
what I
mean,
know.
I don't know if you've ever been down by the dispensary in Montville, but it's like going to a McDonald's. I mean, you can't get a parking spot.
Mhm.
Seriously,
I've never been there.
I've been there.
Oh, I'm sure.
No, I've been there because
Trying to sell product.
no,
From his
Um,
greenhouse.
It's great.
but I'm telling you, you got to wait for somebody to get out of the parking spot so you can park. Everybody goes in, everybody comes out with a little white bag, and there's people in there all ages. You know, some of them from the hippies from the '60s, for crying out loud. You know, it's like unbelievable. You know, it's like wow, I didn't know this.
Hi, I'm Joan, and I brought my daughter to the dispensary. I got myself a number one. I got her a really happy meal.
Oh man.
But you know,
You're bad, Mike. You really are bad.
but I guess my question is, you got to be sure if you're going to carry this stuff, you got to make sure you're not going across a state that doesn't have it legal, because now you're going to get caught for carrying marijuana or carrying a drug across state lines.
Mhm.
I mean, I don't know about you, but I've watched a couple of shows on TV where, especially where they go across the border, and in I think Washington State, marijuana is legal, and a lot of people don't realize it, that they just forget. They go across the border into Canada. Guess what? They get nailed at the border for carrying drugs into another country. You know, and you get your ass beat.
I would think that would be pretty serious.
It is, you know.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's because it's not a federal law. You're going to have to watch out where you carry marijuana. I mean, I remember going into Las Vegas, for crying out loud. And I'm not sure if it's legal in Vegas or not, but when I was leaving, they have a dog that checks you out to make sure that you ain't leaving any marijuana.
Leaving the city?
Leaving when you're at the airport.
Oh, yeah.
When you're at the airport,
Okay.
two people walk side by side with a dog right alongside of you, checking to see if you carry any drugs on you.
Mhm.
So I mean, so a lot of states it's not legal.
So we'll see what happens in the House, but you know, and also in the with full disclosure, and so we can get both sides of the story. We're gonna I'm gonna reach out today to Miranda Mahoney from Grizzle Pride.
Yeah.
To see how she feels about this, how her organization feels about this. There's another organization, CIRAC, in Norwich. I want to reach out to them as well, because there are many sides to this argument. I mean, we can joke around about it, but some people are for it, some people are not for it, and each side has, their points, and I think need to be made. So
I wonder how they're going to measure you if you're driving and smoking pot and you're half high or high. How are they going to determine that? I mean, there's no.
I don't know. There's no test for that. I don't think.
How are they going to know that? Were they going to call it drinking or smoking? It's going to be an SWI, smoking while driving. I don't know what is
Well,
it.
no, they'll probably
It's
like if
just
they
under the-
pick
it's
it
just
up and
under
they
the
pull you over,
influence.
yeah, they could swab you, because if they have probable suspicion, they'll probably just swab your mouth, and then they have it's like a
They
litmus.
can't
It's
do
like
that.
it's like a
They
litmus
can't do
test.
it.
They
'Cause
can't
that's-
do it.
Get a warrant.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, you gotta.
Can't
yeah.
do it.
Well, I don't know how
They can do anything they want because our system has collapsed.
Yeah.
Excuse me, sir. Your eyes are really bloodshot. You can step out of the car.
I mean, how are they going to, unless the car's full of smoke like Cheech and Chong.
Cheech and Chong.
Yeah.
Sir, you have an excessive amount of chili dogs. It's time. I think we need to talk. Step out of the car, please, sir.
Yeah.
And if you're going to do that, why don't you bring out another chili dog? Can you share that with me, sir? I haven't had lunch break yet. Is your
Once
Yeah,
it's
chest-
in the
you
car, they
kinda-
could probably they could smell it.
Hey, I gotta leave you guys this morning.
Gotta leave us?
Yeah.
Hey, James.
We're a one-car family at the moment.
Oh.
So,
Freaking millionaire won't go out and buy himself a used car. Jesus.
hey, you know
Don't
what?
glare at me like
It makes a
that.
hell of a lot more sense to buy a new car than it does to buy a used car today.
You think so?
Absolutely. I've
Okay.
been pricing them.
Well, they
I
weren't,
got it.
you know
I-
why? Because they
I-
weren't getting the chips.
I can get.
Well,
They
yeah.
want. I can buy a brand new car as opposed to a 2-year-old car for about $5,000 difference.
Because they couldn't get the chips.
Well, that's the problem with the new cars. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
However,
one of the
GM's got
guys
'em.
that goes to the auction told me that auction like CRVs.
Yeah.
They're going to full retail at the auction.
Wow. Wow.
I was
I
talking
gotta see
to.
this. Your book.
Oh,
That's my book.
Oh, sure book.
Just has my name in it.
Just
Ah,
as
okay.
Jim's name. It was,
All right.
it was
Take care.
gifted.
Take care, Jim.
See you tomorrow.
Try to stop by tomorrow.
All right. Very
See you
good.
guys.
Take
See
care.
you later. It's Jim Barney from every board in town. He's
Man
the
of the
busiest
people.
man I know. He really is.
No, it's pretty busy.
Not you. You're not the busiest man.
I don't want to be.
You have the most cats in town. That's,
Yeah, probably so. But no, I don't want to be the busiest.
You don't want to be
Neither
the
do I.
busiest? No. All right.
He just doesn't know how to say no.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
All right. We'll be back in a little bit right here on the Streaming News and Sports Network. You're having a good morning.
Hi, this is Alan Gear. You may know me as Mr. City. I want to tell you about my experience with our local eye doctor, Dr. Joel Zuckerbrun. I recently had cataract surgery, and I was told that I needed new glasses. I didn't know what to do because the problem was this was right in the middle of the COVID-19 pandemic. Where the heck was I going to get glasses? I checked places that make glasses. I looked online, and what I found was my solution was practically in my own backyard. So I called Dr. Z, as most people know him. His office is right on North Main Street, right here in the borough of Jewett City. I went to my appointment and had my glasses faster than I would have thought possible. Call Dr. Zuckerberg at 376-2848. I trust Dr. Z with my eyesight, and you should too. Make an appointment today.
You buy better. Better with Burns. Much better. So much better with Burns. The right insurance at the right price. You buy better with Burns. You buy better with Burns. You buy better.
When was the last time you considered the benefits of having all your insurance handled in one place? One number to call, a licensed account manager dedicated to your policies, discounts for having your policies with one company. The list goes on. Did you know the Burns Agency has a team dedicated specifically to home, auto, umbrella, flood, life insurance, business insurance, including workers' comp and professional policies? We do it all. Call, email, chat us online today. Experience the products and service our loyal customers receive and appreciate. The Burns Agency, proudly serving Eastern Connecticut since 1932.
Better. Better with Burns. Much better. So much better with Burns. Right insurance at the right price. You buy better with Burns. You buy better with Burns. You buy better.
With SRN Sports, I'm Ron DeRockster. The Hawks dominated the Sixers tonight, 128-124. That's game one of their Eastern Conference semifinal series. Trae Young put up 35 points. Bojan Bojanovic and John Collins each added 21 for Atlanta, who led by as much as 20 points at the intermission. Joel Embiid had 39 points for the Sixers after missing their previous playoff game with a torn cartilage in his right knee. Game 2, Tuesday in Philadelphia. Clippers have advanced to the Western Conference Finals with a 126-115 win over the Mavericks in Game 7. Kawhi Leonard scored 28 points. Marcus Morris added 23, and Paul George put in 22. In fact, LA's backups outscored the Mavericks 27-6. The Mavericks reserves 27-6. Luka Doncic had 46 points for Dallas, who have yet to win a playoff series since capturing the NBA championship in 2011. This is SRN Sports. One more basketball note. Nets All-Star guard James Harden probably missed Game 2 of the Eastern Conference semis tomorrow night because of a right hamstring tightness. Harden left Saturday's win over the Miami in Game 1 after just 46 seconds because of hamstring tightness. Harden left the game in the 43 seconds, an injury that has troubled him during the latter part of the regular season. Serena Williams' bid for a record-tying 24th Grand Slam singles title continues now into Wimbledon after the number 7 seed was ousted in the 4th round of the French Open, falling to number 21 seed Elena Rybakina of Kazakhstan, 6-3, 7-5. And Patrick Cantlay closed with a 171, wins the Memorial for the second time in 3 years by outlasting Colin Morikawa in a playoff. This is SRN Sports.
I'm Lou Dobbs. Possible meat worker strike looms in South Dakota. The federal government mapping a plan to stop supply chain shortages, and the World Bank with a rosy forecast. Those stories next.
Let's see, if something costs less, but people are happier with it, that sounds like something to look into, and that's MediShare. Maybe you've heard switching to MediShare to pay for healthcare can save the typical family $500 a month, and that's huge. But it's also true that people are way more satisfied after making the switch too. The customer satisfaction rate for MediShare is double that of a typical health insurance plan. Double. MediShare works. It's been around for more than a quarter century, and members have shared more than $3 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network. So yeah, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan you're happy with, you can call right now and get a price within 2 minutes. Very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. 877-64-BIBLE. That's 877-64-BIBLE. 877-64-BIBLE.
At a key meatpacking plant operated by Smithfield Foods in South Dakota, workers are set to begin negotiating a new contract. Armed with a strike authorization from their members, 98% of the workers at the Sioux Falls plant approved the strike authorization in advance of the new negotiations. The federal government set to organize a task force to address bottlenecks in the semiconductor industry that have crippled car makers during the first half of this year. The task force will also investigate issues in the supply chains of both construction and transportation industries. The World Bank has upgraded its outlook for global economic growth for the rest of this year, saying we may see the fastest economic growth in 50 years. Please join me 3 times each weekday for my updates from the Salem Radio Network, right here on this station. This is the Lou Dobbs Financial Report.
The flagship for Griswold High School Sports. And your home for local news and weather.
Broadcasting from Main Street in the borough of Jewett City.
The Streaming News and Sports Network, SNSN.
The 9 a.m. report on the Streaming News and Sports Network is being brought to you by Charlene's Diner, 37 Main Street, Jewett City. Family owned for almost 40 years. Order what you want, eat what you get. That's Charlene's Diner.
I love working here because of the people, and I get to work with my family every day.
Come to Charlene's Diner for the best breakfast you've ever had.
That was Brittany and Matt from Charlene's Diner on Main Street in Jewett City. There are only a few things that have been able to stand the test of time in Jewett City, and one of them just happens to be Charlene's Diner, who just celebrated their 40th anniversary in business. How do you stay in business that long in a small town like Jewett City? It's a simple recipe, really great food and friendly service. And of course, family. You'll feel like family too, because you'll always be greeted with a smile that makes you feel like you're right at home. Stop by for breakfast or lunch 7 days a week. If you don't have any time, well, that's no problem. Order ahead and your food will be waiting for you when you walk into Charlene's door. You can find Charlene's Diner on Facebook too. Stop in and join the family for breakfast or lunch today.
I'm Charlene. Come to Charlene's Diner and order what you want and eat what you get.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. Going to be a busy 8 days for President Biden. Today, he departs on his first trip abroad as Commander-in-Chief.
The United Kingdom is the first stop where the president will meet with British Prime Minister Boris Johnson, attend the G7 summit, and pay a visit to Queen Elizabeth II. Mr. Biden then will travel to Brussels to meet with NATO and EU leaders. He closes out the trip with talks in Geneva with Russian President Vladimir Putin.
White House correspondent Greg Clugston. She has visited Guatemala and she has visited Mexico, but Vice President Harris has yet to visit the U.S. southern border. And President Biden put her in charge of handling the border crisis. NBC's Lester Holtz asked Harris about that in an exclusive interview.
We are going to the border. We've been to the border. So this whole thing about the border, we've been to the border. We've been to the border.
You haven't been to the border.
And I haven't been to Europe.
Harris taking a lot of heat from Republicans and from some Democrats as well for failing to visit the border that she has been charged with helping to secure. After failing to reach a compromise on infrastructure, President Biden ending negotiations with a group of Senate Republicans.
Biden walked away from talks with Senator Shelley Moore Capito of West Virginia, the lead Republican negotiator, after the two spoke Tuesday. The Biden-Capito talks failed to bridge the divide between the GOP proposal of $928 million and Biden's scaled-down $1.7 trillion investment proposal.
Correspondent Mike Gracia. Productive, that's how Democrat Senator Joe Manchin describes his talks with civil rights leaders, but the West Virginia senator says he still cannot support his party's election reform proposal. He says it has many features he likes, but others it would further divide the country. Wall Street, Dow futures down 26 points, NASDAQ futures up 40. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Excuse me, why don't you have life insurance yet? I've got diabetes, and I know the price will be through the roof for the pre-existing condition. Well, actually, SelectQuote makes it easy to get very affordable life insurance, even if you have a health issue. I'm listening. You'll get quotes from some of the country's most trusted carriers. Even with your diabetes, you can get around $250,000 in insurance for as little as $1 a day. That would be amazing. What's it called again? SelectQuote. Just call or go to selectquote.com to get your free quote. Get the coverage you need at a price you can afford. Call 1-800-694-1010 or go to selectquote.com today. That's 1-800-694-1010 or selectquote.com. SelectQuote. We shop, you save. Get full details on example policy at selectquote.com/commercials. Monthly premiums vary based on health company and other factors. Not available in all states.
France is easing its coronavirus restrictions as the number of new infections continues to drop and vaccination rates continue to rise all across the country.
Countries across Europe are feeling the benefit of an expanding vaccination program and a prolonged period of severe restrictions. France is pushing back the start of its nighttime curfew by 2 hours to 11 p.m. A new health pass will allow access to activities with large crowds, and a recommendation to work from home has been relaxed. Belgium, which has one of the highest COVID death rates in the world, is also easing its rules. Cafes and restaurants can once again serve indoors, and masks are no longer compulsory outdoors.
BBC correspondent Grant Barrett says for the first time in 7 months, French restaurants and cafes will now be able to serve customers indoors. News and analysis at townhall.com. The Senate is on pace to approve legislation aimed at boosting U.S. semiconductor production.
The bill is a bid to protect economic and national security in the face of growing competition internationally, especially from China. The move also mirrors the formation of a task force by the Biden administration to address bottlenecks in the semiconductor, construction, transportation, and agriculture sectors. Officials say the administration would like to get ahead of crises such as a computer chip shortage that's hurt automakers over the past year. Bob Agnew reporting.
Australian Prime Minister Scott Morrison says the World Trade Organization should punish China for bad behavior when it occurs. Morrison hopes to garner international support in a worsening trade dispute with China. Morrison says Australia will be working with others to buttress the role of the World Trade Organization. Yet on Wall Street this hour, Dow futures down 31 points. More on these stories, townhall.com.
The 9 a.m. report on SNSN has been brought to you by Charlene's Diner, 37 Main Street, Jewett City. Family owned for almost 40 years. Order what you want, eat what you get. That's Charlene's Diner.
But that's RN Sports. I'm Ron DeRockster. The Hawks dominated the Sixers tonight, 128-124. That's game one of their Eastern Conference semifinal series. Trae Young put up 35 points. Bojan Bojanovic and John Collins each added 21 for Atlanta, who led by as much as 20 points at the intermission. Joel Embiid had 39 points for the Sixers after missing their previous playoff game with a torn cartilage in his right knee. Game 2 Tuesday in Philadelphia. Clippers have advanced to the Western Conference Finals with a 126-115 win over the Mavericks in Game 7. Kawhi Leonard scored 28 points. Marcus Morris added 23, and Paul George put in 22. In fact, LA's backups outscored the Mavericks 27-6. In the Mavericks reserves 27-6. Luka Doncic had 46 points for Dallas, who have yet to win a playoff series since capturing the NBA championship in 2011. This is SRN Sports. One more basketball note, and Nets All-Star guard James Harden probably missed game 2 of the Eastern Conference semis tomorrow night because of a right hamstring tightness. Harden left Saturday's win over the Miami in game 1 after just 46 seconds because of hamstring tightness. Harden left the game in the 43 seconds, an injury that has troubled him during the latter part of the regular season. Serena Williams' bid for a record-tying 24th Grand Slam singles title continues now into Wimbledon after the number 7 seed was ousted in the 4th round of the French Open, falling to number 21 seed Elena Rybakina of Kazakhstan 6-3, 7-5. And Patrick Cantlay closed with a 171, wins the Memorial for the second time in 3 years by outlasting Colin Morikawa in a playoff. This is SRN Sports.
With the SRN News Business Brief, I'm Bill Alexander. Electric vehicle maker Lordstown Motors says it may not be in business a year from now as it tries to secure funding to start full production of an electric pickup truck. Lordstown says the $587 million it had on hand as of March 31st isn't enough to start commercial production and to begin selling the truck. Ski areas across the United States experienced a strong rebound over the winter, despite COVID-19 health restrictions. The National Ski Areas Association says skier visits to resorts totaled 59 million this season. On Wall Street, the Dow slipped 30 points to 34,599. The Nasdaq up 43 to 13,924, and the S&P 500 closed at 4,227. With the SRN News Business Brief, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
Hello, everyone. This is Austin Smith for your Wednesday, June 9th Spotlight in History. On this day in 1549, the Book of Common Prayer is adopted by the Church of England. In 1628, the first deportation from what is now the United States occurs, when Thomas Morton from Massachusetts is exiled from the colonies. In 1650, the Harvard Corporation is formed, marking the first legal corporation in the Americas. In 1772, the first naval attack of the Revolutionary War takes place in the waters off of Providence, Rhode Island. In 1856, over 500 Mormons left Iowa City, Iowa, and head west for Salt Lake City, Utah, carrying all their possessions in just 2-wheeled handcarts. In 1924, Jelly Roll Blues is recorded by jazz pioneer and pianist and composer Jelly Roll Morton. And in 1934, good old Donald Duck makes his first cartoon appearance in the broadcast, The Little Wise Hen. For more interesting peeks into the past, listen every weekday on SNSN.
All right. Thank you very much, Austin.
Follow.
That is a tough act to follow, Austin, with the this day in history. What do you call it? This day in history.
Spotlight in history.
Spotlight in history. Every day, right here on SNSN. All right. Time for the weather. Here's Paul.
Good morning, everybody. Right now, the temperature downtown Jewett City is 75 degrees. Partly cloudy today with an afternoon shower possible. Thunderstorms could be heavy with heavy downpours. Highs will be around 90 degrees. But tonight, isolated thunderstorms again through the evening. Skies will turn cloudy after midnight. Lows will be around 61 degrees. And of course, we get Thursday, well, a few clouds, otherwise mostly sunny. Highs will be around 80 degrees. And of course, for Thursday night, mostly clear, lows around 49. And that's your weather from SNSN on this Wednesday, 06/09/2021.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you, Mo. Thank you, Mo.
All right, Mr. Presley, keep it down.
Yeah.
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 Thank you very much. Oh, that's right, Elvis.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
We're really going back to my first day, huh?
Well, you know what I mean?
Yeah, he's in the building.
I'm here. Connecticut's going to go ahead and legalize marijuana. You know what I mean? It's just got to go to the house. So hopefully, it's just going to come to my house. You know what I mean? I'll have a lot of jelly donuts with some bacon on top.
You're going to go to his house. You're going to get pretty high.
I'm already high. I'm up in rock and roll heaven, baby. You know, I'm as high as it can get.
I mean, you really got to go high.
Oh, Paul, I'll tell you something. I died on the throne. The weed is huge up here. You know what I mean? It's up here tall.
I hope his drawers are back up.
I don't. Who said they were down? I was pooping my pants, baby. You know what I mean? I'm the king. Elvis.
Yeah.
We're gonna win this race. Lemonade, that cool, refreshing drink.
Oh boy.
Where's Priscilla? Where'd she go?
I don't know. She's around somewhere. She
didn't smoke the whack of weed. You know what I mean? I think she
Wacky
should have.
tobacco.
I think the bitch would have been a lot happier. You know what I mean? I thought she would have been. She would have been. I just kept telling her, I said, Priscilla, don't be cruel.
Don't be cruel.
No. No.
That's because she was rubbing that hound dog.
Well, hey, woof. Don't be sending me to Heartbreak Hotel. You know what I mean? Oh God.
Yeah, in Hawaii.
I'm just gonna walk away in my blue suede shoes.
Have yourself a blue Christmas.
Blue. Can't say Christmas. Gotta say Xmas. Without you, I'll be so. Well, damn it, I'm just stoned.
All right, so that's what would happen if Elvis was down here.
Yeah, he channels through Mike sometimes.
Huh?
He channels through you. He's a ghost. He channels through you sometimes. He uses you to speak his message.
Well, you know why? You know why I channel through Mike? Because he's the only guy down there that's a little bit larger than me. I can fit.
No, I think he outweighs you. He was pretty hefty.
Well, I met him in Viva Las Vegas, Viva Las Vegas.
Have we had enough?
Oh God,
we have fun here. We like to have fun here.
Yeah. I'm just going off this morning,
Yeah.
I don't know what happened to that Mr. LaPrat over there at Plainfield Central School, but they don't call it Plainfield Middle School PMS. You know why? Well, for obvious reasons, baby. You know what I mean? Where do you go? PMS. No, I'm not asking you how you feel.
Oh man, I wonder if they still make those jokes.
And how many people are offended by this comedy bit right now, you snowflake?
Oh, probably a few. Trying to think of how many. I wonder if any kids, because we used to make those jokes back when I went through that school. We used to make those jokes all the time.
I sit here and talk all the time, you know what I mean, with my friend Ronnie. Ronnie, come over here and say hello to the people. You know what I mean? Come on over here, baby. Come on. Well, yes. Good day. Well, I just said no to the marijuana. Sorry, E. I'm not going anywhere with that one. So. Oh, God. 16 minutes after 9. It's Wednesday here in the borough of Jewett City. We're talking about Plainfield Central School and some pipe bombs.
And what else are we talking about? There's
Let's talk about
thunderstorms today.
The what? Thunderstorms.
We're supposed to have them yesterday, but they didn't show up. Yeah, they didn't show up at all.
Yeah.
My dad.
No, they said they stayed on the other side of the state. Today we're going to get ours.
Well, it was a little. I know last night when I was driving out to Hartford at like 8:30, it was the roads were wet, but the skies were clear. So
yeah,
I don't know if they got a thunderstorm
They might
out
have.
there, but
Yeah, they might have. There was some around dinner time.
See, we didn't get any rain, but because, gosh, it had to be like 4:30-ish. I was getting out of the truck to go back inside. I was running errands, and the sky was dark over towards Canterbury Way,
Yeah.
and I heard rumbles, but then that was it. It was like went on for like 10 minutes, no rain, no nothing, and then it was just nothing.
Yeah, I think it was more toward the northern part of the state. Pretty much. I went to Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Into Rhode Island because I think it went across the top. And it went across because I was watching the weather and it went into Providence further north.
Got it.
Yeah.
So
So
we got-
they're
we got
saying
it.
today it's coming. We could get some today.
Yeah, today we get ours.
Today we get ours. Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
what is it? It's like that Johnny Cash song, Oni.
Yeah.
What is it?
Oni.
Oh,
He's thinking about working in the plant. And then he's retiring, and he's been building muscle, working 25 years in the plant. And his boss, Oni's just been giving him crap, and now he's gonna give him his. Now we're getting ours.
Johnny, come on over here and talk a little bit.
Johnny doesn't sound like Elvis.
No, he doesn't sound like Elvis.
No.
I'm a ring of fire. That's because you're in hell, baby.
I don't think so. Johnny was a big religious person.
Yeah, but if you know a lot about his younger years,
Younger days were probably not, but
he was a little hellion.
He actually became very religious at the end. Yeah.
I'm blazing ring of fire. It sounds a lot like Elvis, by the way. Just he's got a little in his voice.
Yeah.
But you know who else has a lot in that voice like that is Elmo Fudd. You Twitch stuff. All right, we'll be back in a second right here. Streaming News and Sports Network. That's us, SNSN. Good morning.
The latest news and weather. SNSN.
As a business, your customers are your first priority. At Jewett City Savings Bank, their first priority is helping businesses like yours to succeed. Here's what Bruce Prescott of Zoe and Company in Westerly, Rhode Island had to say about doing business with Jewett City Savings Bank.
Jewett City Savings Bank's the best bank we've ever dealt with. We've refied multifamily homes through them, single family homes. We've refied our business. We bought a new shop out in Cape Cod. They did all the financing for that. They've been straightforward. Anytime we've needed anything, they have made it extraordinarily easy for us to deal with. I recommend all the time to my other friends of mine that own businesses to deal with Jewett City Savings Bank. I've recommended them year after year.
To learn more about how the commercial lending team at Jewett City Savings Bank can assist you, call 860-376-4444 or go to jcsbank.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Don't just wish for a winning deal. Make it Dish. It will make it real. Just wish. Make it Dish.
Hey everyone, this is Ellis Dish from Dish Motors. We're back better than ever with our new sales and service center on Route 32 in North Franklin. Everyone says there's nothing better than dealing with the dishes, and here's why. Selection. We have the area's largest inventory of off-lease, one-owner vehicles of all makes and models. You name it, we got it, or I'll get it for you at no additional charge. Quality. Each vehicle goes through a rigorous 120-point safety and quality check. Nothing leaves the lot without my personal approval. Convenience. We have financing sources for almost any situation. We offer on-site registration processing, and we have maintenance programs for years of stress-free ownership. And now open for all your maintenance needs. Our full-service repair facility, where oil changes start at just $19.99. Call today for your appointment or just stop by. So save thousands and deal with the dishes. Route 32, North Franklin. Or check us out online at dishfranklin.com or ring us 860-383-4750.
Just wish. Make it Dish.
The voice of Griswold, Jewett City and Plainfield. SNSN.
All right, let's take a look at the forecast right now. And here he is, Paul Lash. Good morning, Paul.
Good morning. And right now the temperature down to City rounds up to 77 degrees. Be a few clouds early this morning and mostly sunny. Highs are going to be around 80 degrees. And of course, for tonight, mostly clear. Lows around 49. But that was Thursday. I screwed up.
What?
Yeah. That was, I gave you, I'm going backwards.
You had one job, Paul.
I know.
One job.
Let's give you today's weather. How's that? Partly cloudy this afternoon. There's going to be some thunderstorms around. Could be heavy at times with pretty heavy downpours, high around 90 degrees.
Whoa.
Downpours.
Downpours?
Downpours.
We're going to have some,
we're
gonna have some heavy downpours?
Yeah. I was playing golf. Downpours.
All right, whatever.
Yeah. Chance of rain will be 40%. But tonight, thunderstorms this evening, then skies turning partly cloudy after midnight, lows around 61. That's your weather from SNSN on this Wednesday, 06/09/2021.
With SRN News, I'm Rich Thomason in Washington. It's going to be a busy 8 days for President Biden starting today. He departs on his first trip abroad as Commander-in-Chief. She's visited Guatemala and Mexico, but Vice President Harris has yet to visit the U.S. southern border. President Biden put her in charge of handling the border crisis, the VP saying she does expect to get to the border in the not too distant future. After failing to reach a compromise on infrastructure, President Biden has ended negotiations with a group of Senate Republicans. A couple of the major sticking points: tax hikes sought by the Democrats, and what exactly constitutes infrastructure. Productive, that's how Democrat Senator Joe Manchin describes talks with civil rights leaders, but he says he still cannot support his party's election reform proposal. Dow futures down 44 points. More details at srnnews.com.
News and information you need for your day. SNSN.
All right, good morning. Once again, 9:23. You're in the heart of grizzled Jewett City.
Yeah.
You old borough, if you will.
The borough.
I can hear it clumping along.
We keep our finger on the pulse of Jewett City, so you don't have to.
There's a missing kitten on Hill Street, by the way.
Oh, there is.
Mm-hmm. The kitten snuck out, and we haven't been able to find her. She's only 4 months old. She's mostly black and white and fluffy. If anybody sees her, please message Angie Allen.
And where is Hill Street, so people know?
It's right off Ashland.
Right off Ashland.
Go down Ashland, it's that first left.
Gotcha.
You know, like you're going up towards the park, or I should say, Little League.
Gotcha.
That is, it's up on a hill.
Gotcha.
Hence the name.
Gotcha. There's a lot of people don't are familiar with the streets. And
Mhm. So Hill Street. So it's a missing kitten.
Mhm.
She's about 4 years old. She's
4 months.
4 months old. Thanks. Mostly black and has some white fluff to her.
Some white fluff.
I'm looking at pictures.
Yeah,
She looks
like
very cute.
marshmallow fluff.
I love marshmallow fluff.
Me too.
I absolutely love marshmallow fluff.
Yes.
See, peanut butter and fluff sandwiches.
I like to melt it and stick it on a pudding.
And what?
That sounds
Stick it on
nice.
chocolate pudding.
That
Really?
sounds nice.
Does sound
Just
nice.
put it in some, mix some hot water.
I
into it,
never even
stir-
thought of that.
Pick some hot water into it, stir it up real quick so it becomes like a liquid, then just pour it right over the top of your chocolate pudding.
You know what? You know
That
what I?
sounds nice.
You know what I learned as a life hack yesterday
What's up?
is you know how they have those magic bullets,
Yeah.
right? You know,
Yep.
you can make smoothies in them, and they're
Yep.
you know whatever.
Yep.
Did you know that if you have a regular blender, right, and you know how you can unscrew the bottom
Mhm.
where the blade comes out and
Mhm.
everything? Did you know that fits right on a mason jar?
Really?
You can put it right on a mason jar, put whatever you want in the mason jar, flip it over, put it on the blender, and it blends right in the mason jar. It's the
Wow.
same size.
Wow. Didn't know
It's the
that.
same size. So if you're doing it, so instead of going out and spending $100 on a magic bullet, just get yourself a few mason jars and do it that way.
Yeah. Yep.
I like that. And it makes sense, you know, if people are going to can stuff or whatever, they're going to puree things or they're making sauce. You know, you don't have to pour it in anything. You just do it in the mason jar and boom, there you go.
Yeah. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
So nice little life hack for you.
Yeah.
Oh, who am I kicking? Do you have any life hacks? I think some of them are fun.
Yeah.
You know, the life hacks that they come up with. So
There's definitely some that I've seen that are really funny. Like I saw one yesterday. It was just like they took like a couple popsicle sticks and glued like bottle caps, like the actual like metal bottle caps to them. And they're scraping a fish and they're like, look, it's a fish scaler. And I'm like, could just use a knife. Could just use a knife. I guarantee you have a knife.
yeah.
You don't have to drill into a piece of wood and tack down a bottle cap.
Well, the difference is it's serrated. It's serrated because you got the edge of the cap is being serrated.
Yeah.
Unless it's the newer now, it's the screw-on types.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think they make a lot of the snap taps anymore. You have to use most of them. A lot of them screw-on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, here are the holidays you should be celebrating that you didn't know that existed in the first place. And one of them, Austin already talked about it in his Spotlight history for today. It's Donald Duck Day. See, these are holidays that every day they happen, and people they don't know that they're there. So that is us as a customer service.
Yeah.
To bring you this information.
Yeah.
So you have this information because customer satisfaction.
Yeah.
It's our number one goal.
If it's like a duck, it's a duck.
Yeah. And if you don't like any part of this broadcast today, stop by. We'll give you a full refund.
Yeah. Speaking of Donald, speaking of ducks, Donald Duck, I can't take my dog to the park anymore.
Why?
The dogs attack her, or the ducks attack her.
Really?
Yeah, that's what I get for having a purebred. Yeah, no, I don't have a dog.
So.
I just knew they had dogs at the park. Purebreds, huh?
See if Paul remembers this. Hey, Paul, which red and smells like blue paint?
Yeah, I know.
Red paint.
Smells like paint.
Derp. It is National Strawberry Rhubarb Pie Day.
Oh,
yeah. What do you mean? What do you mean?
Rhubarb is sour.
I love rhubarb.
No, it is by itself.
Yeah,
but it's good.
You put that in a pie with strawberries. It's like sour and sweet. It's really good.
Mm-hmm.
I used to eat rhubarb because my mother had it in her yard. I haven't
You
seen
dipped it in sugar, right?
I haven't seen. Yeah, you're right. I haven't seen rhubarb growing in people's yard in a long time. We don't have any, but
There's usually she's right up the street, just past the gas station, just on the bend there. I can't remember the name of the
rhubarb
street.
there.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of the street that's right there, but it leads down to the water. She lives right there in the corner, and she usually has like 50 cents for a pound or something.
I
And it's
remember my
great.
mother's yard. I'd go snack it with a knife and take the green off. And you're right.
And this is
Dip
after
in
he
sugar.
said he hated rhubarb.
Yeah. Well, he loved it when he was younger, when he was full of piss and vinegar, so it bounced out. But now he's old and full of salt and water.
Plus it's a little springy when it's in a pie.
It is World APS Day.
APS. What's the acronym stand for?
World Anti. I can't even. It's a medical condition.
I guess that's what they call it. APS.
Doing with antibodies. The ACE is ANTIPHOS PHOL PHID. Antiphospholipid. Whatever.
I'm sorry I asked.
Yeah, I'm sorry you asked too. And today is also Writers' Rights Day. RIGHTS.
Wow.
So writers have rights. It's always observed on June 9th.
Rights.
On the first Writers' Rights Day held on June 9th, 1992, writers called for more timely and higher pay, additional pay for subsequent use of their work, and increased copyright protection. About 30 organizations sponsored this day, not the day, including the National Writers Union, Authors Guild, Published Authors Network, the Romance Writers of America, and Science Fiction and Fantasy Writers of America. The organizations claimed that writers were being ignored and abused by publishers. As a part of the day, a rally calling for higher pay and better treatment of writers by publishers was held at Grand Central Station in New York City. The Declaration of Writers' Electronic Rights was signed at the rally.
Nice.
And you think about it, it's true that stuff doesn't really get enough attention. These are people that are working and they have their stuff published, and next thing you know, it gets shared all over the world, and these writers don't get any kind of compensation for that.
Right.
It's true.
You know, so the publishers take and do what they want with it. You know,
Mhm.
so they can bring more attention to, you know, their websites or their publication, which will then pay attention to more of their advertisers, which has nothing to do with the writers.
Right.
So, so those are the days that you should be celebrating that you did not know that existed in the first place. So there's one more, National Earl Day.
Earl,
Earl.
Duke of Earl, Duke of Earl. That was a song.
It was. You're right. It was. Earl's gotta die. What's that song by? Goodbye, Earl. I think it was the Dixie Chicks that did that. Anyway. Capacity for achievement. The day was started by Roger Slack in honor of Earl Baltus, a band leader who became a racetrack owner in '54 when he turned Ohio's Eldora Ballroom into the Eldora Speedway.
Earl, huh?
Yeah.
Did I do that?
That wasn't.
That's Urkel.
That's Urkel.
Yes.
Urkel.
What do you think they called him for short?
Steve Urkel. They
Steve.
called him Steve.
Steve.
Earl.
Steve
They
Urkel.
did not.
Did I do that?
Can I have some
Oh.
cheese?
We don't have any cheese.
How did you know Steve Urkel? I mean, you're 19 years old. That show was well before your time.
What? Well, yeah, of course it is. But what? I was about to. When you asked for cheese, I was literally about to do the line because I was like, "We don't have any cheese." Oh, that's okay. I'll just leave out some milk and wait for it to curdle. And then he grabs his suspenders and walks into the kitchen.
How do you know that? I mean, you must have watched the show on like Nick at Night or something like that.
Yeah, and I'd watch it every morning around 6 o'clock. It was always on. Full House is always on. Same thing with
Yeah.
MASH. I watched MASH. I watched Happy Days. I watch it. My man, I'm 19 years old, but it's like I get told by everybody.
But I've watched a lot of TV.
By most people. I'm an old soul.
He didn't know who Dynamite was, though.
I couldn't think of the name. I couldn't.
You know who the guy was that did Dynamite?
I can't.
Jimmy Walker.
Jimmy
Dynamite!
Walker. Yeah, Jimmy
Yeah.
Walker.
Okay.
Dynamite.
Good times.
Good
Yeah,
times.
good times.
You know who the dad was?
Yeah. Yeah. He was a Amos. What the hell was
John
it?
Amos.
Yeah.
And you know what they did to his character on Good Times?
Killed him off.
They killed him off. Why?
I don't know.
Because he went and made the movie Roots.
Oh.
So he needed that time off, you know, right when
To
they
make
were
the movie.
So they killed him off.
Yeah.
You know, and then they killed off Florida after a while.
Yeah.
And it was just the kids. And then instead of Good Times, it was just Times.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that happens to a lot of characters on these shows because they lose the audience, so they have to do something to change it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you remember a show called What's Happening?
Yeah.
It was a sitcom.
Yeah.
And you know who the main character was?
I don't remember.
Rerun. He was a heavyset guy, wore suspenders. He could dance. His name was Fred.
Yeah.
Freddie
Yeah.
was his real name. Freddie
Yeah,
something, but they
yeah.
called him Rerun.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've definitely. I'd never seen it, but I've definitely heard what's happening. I
Mhm.
was thinking about it, and then as soon as you said rerun, I'm like, I've heard that.
Yeah.
I've heard that before.
Here's something for you. Here's a little sitcom trivia. The Cunninghams. How many kids were there?
3.
Very good. Very nice.
The first.
Did we talk about that before?
No.
No.
The first one was only there for 1 year, though.
One episode.
Yeah, he wasn't there very
And then
long.
he was in the first episode. They mentioned him in the second. Then he was just gone and
Gone.
never talked about again. Remember his name?
Went to no, I don't remember his name.
Chuck.
Chuck. Yeah, he went to college.
Yep.
Wherever he went.
But then something must have happened. He must have disowned him. Because then it became just Joni and Richie.
Yeah.
How many spin-offs were there from Happy Days?
Oh, I'm trying to think.
Mm.
I think there were probably two others, right? One was Mel's Diner.
No.
Mel's Diner. The diners.
Arnold's Place.
Oh, Arnold's Place, the diner.
Yeah.
one, yeah. Which was
Okay.
named Mel's, right? Wasn't
No.
It was Mel. It was Mel's Diner, but then, but the spinoff wasn't Mel's Diner because Arnold, remember, he bought the restaurant supposedly in the show. Now it became Arnold's Place.
Okay.
Okay. So what were the other shows? One I don't think you'll get. Laverne and Shirley. Because Laverne and Shirley, they used to be with the Fonz.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay. Joni Loves Chachi.
Yeah, Joni Loves Chachi.
There's one more. One big one.
I don't remember.
Mork and Mindy.
Oh, Mork and Mindy? Oh, I didn't know that.
Because Mindy was on the show, and that's how they introduced Mork. Mork, and then that spun off to their own.
I didn't know.
A lot of different shows. I mean, they've been spun off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
know,
absolutely.
to-
Well, that's what they did back then. A lot of these.
Yeah.
A lot of spin-offs.
And people really love some of the spinoffs.
Mhm.
Yeah.
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 The Honeymooners. Remember the Honeymooners?
That was only on one season.
Right, but you remember, right?
Yeah.
What cartoon did they inspire?
I don't know.
The cartoon really was all about the Honeymooners.
Really? No, I don't.
The Flintstones.
Oh,
That makes sense.
I
That
didn't know
makes
that.
sense.
It was the Flintstones.
Oh,
That makes sense.
oh, Jackie Gleason.
Yeah.
Pow! Right in the kisser.
How did Wilma get pregnant with Pebbles? Bam! Bam!
Sorry.
Sorry.
Oh man.
But even really, because Fred sounded like Jackie Gleason, wasn't him,
Yeah.
and Barney kind of sounded like what's his name? Art Carney.
Yeah, that's right. He actually lives in Connecticut.
Well, he's not anymore.
No, I know it. My mother-in-law used to meet him all the time. She said he was a grouchy old
He was
bastard.
not a nice man.
She
I
said he
heard.
was
Yeah.
a grouchy old
Yeah.
bastard. Yeah.
Yeah. Back when I was working at for Radio Shack, way back in the day, he used to go into the old Saybrook store and had a friend of mine there.
Yeah, that's where that's what she used to say.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah, she lived in Old Saybrook.
Oh, okay, because he would go there all the time.
Yeah.
And I had a friend that ran that store.
Yeah.
And he was just
But he was a grouchy old bastard.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know who was not not the nicest guy in the world? Hilton Catterley.
He does commercials on TV every now and then.
Yeah.
You see him.
Jeff Fox.
He's gone.
Yeah, not the nicest man in the world.
I don't.
He was. I'm talking about the way he just came in, just like I'm special kind of thing.
Well, they got rid of him for some reason.
Oh.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
there was some stuff.
A couple
behind
of different stations.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, others.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want another piece of trivia?
Yeah.
I was gonna say, what did and this coined this term actually. What in the final season of Happy Days? What did the Fonz do that really killed the show?
Cried.
No. Paul?
Took his jacket off.
No. No, it's
Crack-
coined a term that you've probably heard when it comes to TV shows and like long
Cracked
running
up his
series.
motorcycle.
No, jump the shark.
Oh, that's
Jumping the
right.
shark.
Yeah.
The show Jump the Shark. That's because in the final season of Happy Days, the Fonz finally went, yeah, you know what? I'm going to jump the shark. And then he jumped the shark and the show died.
He couldn't ride a motorcycle.
Mm.
No.
Mm.
It's hard to believe he was a nerd.
Oh, Henry Winkler?
Yeah, Henry Winkler.
Yeah.
Well, with a name like Henry.
No, he
Come on, I got a dog named Henry. He's cool.
Did he,
Not
did he
Winkler.
graduate from Yale or one of those
Very
high?
smart man, but he
Ivy
was
League?
quite the nerd.
Yeah, he was a nerd. Yeah.
Which was, and he said that, it was very funny how he became the Fonz.
Yeah.
Because he was nothing like the Fonz. Hey.
Yeah.
Pop his collar and his leather jacket. Hey.
Yeah.
Hit
I
the
loved it
jukebox.
when Mrs. C would go, Arthur, sit down.
Yeah. Oh well. What can I say? Yeah, he's pretty smart.
Yeah.
I forget what Ivy League school he graduated from. Yeah. Yeah.
Who
Bonds. Harry Winkler. I mean, he just became a very successful director and producer. And
Did you ever see the movie Night Shift that he did?
yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah,
That was
Michael
a good,
Keaton.
yeah, him and Keaton.
Yeah, that was really good.
That was a good movie. Yeah.
Shelley Long.
Yeah.
She was in that movie too.
Yeah.
And numerous hookers.
Yeah.
But it was a really, really good show.
Yeah, it was a good movie.
It was a good movie. You ever see it? Look it
I
up.
don't think so.
What it is that Henry Winkler works in a morgue,
Okay.
city morgue. And his job is he works third shift to go out and pick up bodies.
Okay.
Well, this, of course, before, it was privatized and, whatever. Michael Keaton apparently was like the mayor's nephew or something and needed a job. So we put him in with Henry Winkler, who was like a real square, kind of nerdy kind of guy. And then Michael Keaton was like this, kind of like Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
It's almost like the same character.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And he figured, well, since we're here all night, we're not doing anything, let's become pimps. So they did.
Got them all rich. Yeah.
Yeah.
They all got rich.
That sounds like a fun
Yeah.
movie. That sounds like a very fun movie.
And then they, but it was a good movie.
That was a good movie. Yeah, you'd probably enjoy it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was funny,
yeah.
It
It sounds like
yeah,
it's
you'd
very
enjoy
fun.
it. Yeah.
but it had a good message to it at the end.
Yeah.
With the thought with Henry Winkler and what
Yeah.
he did, for his mother. So.
Yep.
All right, kids, that's going to wrap it up for us here on SNSN. We will see you once again tomorrow. Tomorrow, very important show. We have Todd Babbitt and Senator Heather Summers. We will be here tomorrow talking about the data centers, getting more information that you probably don't even know about.
Yeah.
So we'll do that tomorrow. So, Austin, thanks for showing up there, man.
Of course, man.
All right. And
I'd miss it for the world.
we will see you tomorrow as well.
Yep.
All right. Have a good day, everyone. It's SNSN.
Hey, I'm Jess, but you can call me the Tire Queen. For the best deals on tires, come and see me at Advanced Automotive on Route 138 in Griswold. Call me at 860-376-8687. But definitely don't talk to my dad. He's definitely not the Tire King.
And right now, Jess the Tire Queen has great deals and excellent service waiting for you at Advanced Automotive, Route 138 Griswold.
Hi, I'm Harry, the Tooth Fairy. Or at least I used to be the Tooth Fairy. Business was great. Then people started discovering Griswold Dental. Dr. Norman Katzoff and his staff can do things to help you keep your teeth longer. It's enough to make an old Tooth Fairy cry. Griswold Dental can do all the work in-house. Imagine a new crown in 2 hours. They even know how to make dental anxiety go away. They even have a laser that can help with your gums. Griswold Dental will make you want to smile again. They can restore, clean, and help prevent all those problems that keep me in business. Dr. Katzoff and his staff will make you feel like family. They're friendly and you'll be comfortable. Contact Griswold Dental today and set up an appointment. 860-376-2624. 860-376-2624. Griswold Dental, 87 Slater Avenue, Jewett City. Tell them the Tooth Fairy sent you.
But that's RN Sports. I'm Ron DeRockster. The Hawks dominated the Sixers tonight, 128-124. That's game one of their Eastern Conference semifinal series. Trae Young put up 35 points. Bojan Bojanovic